if you would assist me in keeping this place free of any kind of food and free of any kind of drink, it'll help me out a lot. As I mentioned earlier, I think on Monday, a couple of people go around, collecting garbage that happens to hit the floor, but I really appreciate your keeping your, make sure there's no food or drink here. The other thing is, if you could just decide for this time that you're not going to text right now. And I'm putting my phone on silent, so if it rings, my leg will shake. Nothing else is going to happen. Because you're in a world where you guys are phenomenal responding. I can't believe how fast you respond to things. But I was thinking the other day yesterday morning when the teachers were all performing, I thought, oh man, I got to get my phone and videotape this. And I thought, no, just enjoy it. And the only people that are going to know about this are the people that are here. The other people on our planet don't know anything about it, and that's just fine. So if you could not text or be on your phone at all and avoid any of the food now, I think you get have a good time. These teacher performances for the next 3 days are designed so that people can present concepts. And the leader of our rhythm section today is fearless. As I said, her mother had to take the guitar out of her arms when she fell asleep with it because she was practicing while she fell asleep each night. Please give it up for Miss Mimi Fox. Mimi Fox's rhythm section, are you here?
They're here.
No, I mean from her combo. Are you here? Because you're supposed to be at your combo room because there's a bunch of pro horns waiting for you. Is the rhythm section from Mimi Fox's combo during the day here? No? Okay. On drums today, gentleman with a wonderful musical family. His dad is also a drummer. Please give it up for Lorca Hart. National tragedy that I found out that our bassist and I grew up, in Oakland and him in San Francisco, and we never met. We're he's much younger than me, you can tell. 1 degree of separation. Please give it up for Mr. Mark Williams. A gentleman who teaches computers to little kids, but is just a most killer keyboard player. One of my favorites, Mr. Brian Ho. Our first artist today, I first heard performing with the Juilliard Jazz Band when he was in 8th grade. It was at the University of Scranton, and I happened to be there, and little Joey Boga got up and played the trumpet with the Juilliard Jazz Band. I heard it, I saw it, and I don't remember it. No. But anyway, Joe's a graduate of Juilliard, great pianist, composer, bass player, and he plays some trumpet too. Joe Boga. Bram Sassen. Maximus. Bella Hartman.
Are supposed to be in their combo room.
Are supposed to be in their combo room. Are they there? Is Bram there? House lights, please. I gotta find Bram. Maybe they're on their way. Okay. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Boga.
How's everybody doing out there today? Good? So what I'd like to talk with you guys about today is a little bit about older jazz, music from the 1920s and 30s. Yay. And so I'd like to just, you know, in performing in a historical way, trying to perform this music the way they used to play very differently from the way we play today. And so I'd just like to explain some of that, and then we'll play the tune, and you'll get to hopefully hear some of it. So the roles of each instrument were much more defined back in the day. So the trumpet was kind of the melody instrument. I would play the melody. Clarinet would kind of be an accompanying figure, playing, you know, improvisatory lines behind the melody. Guitar, if you could actually give me an example of maybe just playing some chords.
There was actually banjo even before it was guitar.
Exactly, a banjo and guitar. Playing quarter notes as opposed to just open chords. And then we had with the bass, the type of bass sound that you hear now is much more sustained and long, like boom, 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 boom. The way they used to play back then, they kind of cut it short, like boom, 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 boom. Can you demonstrate it? Exactly, yeah. Just a little more short, a little more on top of the beat. And now the drums used to play in more of a two-feel, and less on the cymbals. The ride cymbal wasn't incorporated into jazz until much later. So really mostly on bass drum and snare, kind of a boom chick kind of a feel. Give us a demonstration. Great. And then now piano also would be playing quarter notes along the same lines with everybody else, usually in a stride style, like this. Exactly, yeah. And when you put all the pieces together, you get something like this. So, in the A. 1, 2, 1.
gentlemen. Our next presenter is a long-time, not only tenor sax player, but in the last couple of years, a wonderful, wonderful analyst. No, not for the CIA, but for Pandora. Please give it up for Mr. James Mahone. By the way, I failed to say that was Guido Fazio on the clarinet. Joining James today, Zach Johnson on the alto. And Rick Condit on the alto saxophone. Who knows what a contrafact is? Raise your hand if you know what a contrafact. Because I think that's a little bit about what Mr. Mahone's going to be sharing with us today. And also, before he gets up here, some students have been talking to me about their experiences at the workshop, and I love hearing from you whatever's working and whatever isn't working, because the workshop's for you, and I want to make sure that you're getting 100% of the benefit. Raise your hand if you're making your combo a family. Raise your hand if you've already had a divorce in the combo. No. So, I mean, the deal is that we get along. How many have gotten some help from someone who's a floater who comes in and helps you out? Anybody got some help? Good. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Mahone.
How's everybody doing today? I'm doing good. I really appreciate having a chance to do this. Bob, thank you very much. This is a lot of fun. I'm not much of a public speaker. It's not one of my fortes, but I'm going to try my best today, so please bear with me.
You're great.
Today's presentation will be on contrafacts. Does anybody know what a contrafact is? Yeah, can you tell everybody?
It's
Yeah.
when you write a new melody over an existing song, so you have
Exactly.
the same chords, but it's a different song.
That's it. A contrafact is an original melody laid over a set of pre-existing chord changes. I wrote some down, let's see. Anthropology, right? Charlie Parker tune, that's based on I Got Rhythm. 26-2 by John Coltrane. Does anybody know what those changes are? You can just blurt it out.
Confirmation.
There you go. How about, this is an easy one, Impressions. Another Coltrane tune. Oh, you guys are too smart for me. Okay, here's a harder one. How about Prince Albert by Kenny Dorham?
All the things you are, so what?
Okay. So what? One more. Aesthetic, George Russell. So what? Come on, guys. Does anybody know what the changes to aesthetic are from? What song? Anybody here on stage? Yeah. Love for Sale? Anyway, I wrote a melody over the changes to Sweet Georgia Brown. Is anybody familiar with the tune called Dig? Does anybody know that tune? I think it's a Miles Davis tune. maybe Jack McLean tune, maybe both of their tunes. But we're going to play the melody to Dig, okay? Please enjoy. That's Dig. So I wrote a melody over that tune. It's called Doug. So that was my contrafact. Please, another hand for this great band. Rick Condit on alto, Jack Johnson on alto, Amy Fox, Lorca Hart, Mark Williams, Brian Hope. So one last thing about contrafacts. The reason I think that they're so useful is that often I love writing. I love probably writing more than I love performing, writing music. And often I'll go off with some melody that I'm working on, and it just goes places that, well, how can I say it? When I put the melodies into more of a context, I usually end up with something more useful to me, you know. So rather than writing a melody and trying to place chord changes over it, working within a context, I think, is very useful and effective with kind of directing your writing to a certain place. So that's why I love contrafacts. Thank you very much.
James Mahone, let's hear it for him. Cool, so that's good. I just wanted to know, you know, how soon did they get the chart? Rick said he had it at lunch, and Zach said he had it for a few minutes. So you just got it? Well, yeah, no. So it's an interesting situation in 2018 because, let's say, 50 years ago, you could have been a very good ear player and actually, you know, not be able to read music very well and get all kinds of gigs. But it seems like it keeps ramping up where you almost have to have all kinds of classical chops or very good reading chops to get through certain gigs. So I would encourage you to keep your sight reading, you know, the best you can, either reading with bands or doing whatever you can. Our next artist has been away for a bit, but we're so glad he's back. Please give it up for Mr. Dan Pratt. Dan is originally from Saratoga area, San Jose area, and actually he's down there staying with his brother this week and has his 3-year-old daughter with him. And then Dan went to New York, and the first time that I saw him play was with the Ferber brothers. And here's one of the Ferber brothers, Alan Ferber, on trombone. And the director of jazz music at Diablo Valley College, Dr. Matt Zebley. And it was a very funny occurrence in my band. Dan Pratt and Alan Ferber came with Jared Gold and Mark Ferber. Jared Gold was a B3 player. And they played for the 7th and 8th grade students. And then at the end of the concert, they had time for one more. And they said, does anybody want to hear something else? And my top alto player raised his hand and said, could you play Inner Urge? And I thought, you idiot, you don't ask that kind of question. And they looked at each other and they just hit. They had an arrangement. And so that's what I always remember. Dan Pratt, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. How about it for Alan Ferber on the trombone? Dr. Matt Zebley on the alto sax. And of course, the fabulous rhythm section holding it down this afternoon. Brian Home, Matt Williams, Mark Williams. We've just met this year for the first time. I'm so sorry. Mark Williams, Lorca Hart, Mimi Fox on the rhythm section. I think if I was to say that there's any a unifying concept to those two pieces, we did a monk piece called Ask Me Now, and what I asked of them was that we just think about one chorus, just horns, and whatever happens. And then the second piece was an original of mine called Junket, and then what I asked of them then was to keep it loose and trust each other. And I think that that's a lot of what I experienced here on stage, was a lot of trust, going with signals from each other, trust in the community and the expertise on stage and the musicality. So the highest level of gratitude from me to you all. Thank you.